what's going on? My name is Antonio Bowen. I'm your candidate for Clark County School Board Trustee for District C. I am so excited to be here. We are up to some great things in District C. One of the major things that we're working on bridging the digital divide in our community by doing the Soul City Wi-Fi project. We are excited to announce that we have some major sponsors that's going to allow us to give our students in Title I neighborhoods free Wi-Fi access. Another thing, we're working on our Boyle program, Book of Your Own. So it's a read by 3, write your own book by 7, have it published by the age of 10. We're working on that to encourage young readers. Statistics show that if you start reading by a young age, you will be more successful and you'll be able to do more and accomplish more. So that is some of the things that we're working on, getting our students to Wi-Fi, to bridge the digital divide, and also we're helping them by allowing them to read by 3, write their own book by 7, and have it published by 10. We understand Clark County School District, it's on a certain road, but it's time for us to create a new path. It's time for us to bring a new light to it. So again, my name is Antonio Bowen. I'm your candidate for Clark County School Board Trustee, and you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, all at Antonio for CCSD or Bowen for CCSD. Remember, I am your candidate. Remember who was the person there helping us in this time of crisis. Remember who was there feeding the homeless. Remember who was there doing all of this that's going on. Remember that Bowen was there. Thank you, and best is yet to come.
Welcome everybody to our public forum here. I am Q Allen King. I'm here with Latisha Roberts and all of our beautiful consistency, and we are social distancing here, right here, the best way that we possibly can. Yes. This is our public forum today to let everybody know and get a chance to be engaged with their candidates and just kind of pick their brains a little bit. But we're going to start with kind of a community roundtable. Table's not so round, but we are distanced properly. We are here for you to serve you. We're here live from Urban Star Studios, and we're so excited, and we're getting ready to get this thing going. So let's start with our first question, and then we're going to hear from you on social media, but we're going to ask our guests here first. We're going to go to them and social distance. But yeah, Urban Star Media, Blue Dragon Studios, here with Val TV, Valerie McConnell. She said,
yes.
Get me in there. Go, girl.
Hello, my name is Latisha Miller. I'm a Clark County Chief Deputy Public Defender. I've been practicing law for 18 years, and now I'm running for District Court, Department 19. In that 18 years, I've been a public defender, a prosecutor, I run my own law firm, and I've taught at a community college. Clark County can trust me because I am a public servant, and I work for all of Clark County. In my time in the public defender's office, I've represented the poor, the mentally ill, the drug addicted, and the children of fine citizens in Clark County. And I want you to know you can trust me. You can trust me because I work for the people. And as your judge, I will work for you too. I live in this community, and I know how hard it is out there, and I will be your champion from the bench. Thank you, and I appreciate your support.
Yeah. That's it. So we're excited. Let's get this work. Moderator, first question.
First question is, how would you handle the stress of your position if elected? Health and wellness. How would you handle the stress of your position?
Nobody's jumping at that question.
Come on, where you at? Health and wellness.
Okay, I'm going to go back here. We'll start here. We'll go back here to Mr. Bowen.
Okay, so my position has already started because we're already responding to the coronavirus issue by finding resources that the community so desperately needs. So at the very initial outbreak of the coronavirus, I called on every agency from the federal government on down to make sure that we have resources deployed into the historic West Side because we are already a distressed community.
Right.
Outstanding.
Okay, so here was my question. It really was posed to everyone, definitely with Clark County education. I am a biological parent and an adoptive parent. My 14-year-old son has mental illness. So this is personal to me. This is not just moderation. This is what I live, right? So when we moved to Nevada, Nevada has the worst, just honestly, Nevada has one of the worst states as far as taking care and helping with mental illness in the nation. And so, however, they have one of the best health care that helps us source out mental health from Nevada to other states. This is a true fact. So when my son came here, see your hand? He's been to every RTC, that's residential treatment facility, in the state of Nevada. None of them could deal with what was wrong with him. So Nevada outsourced my son to the state of Texas, which is where I originally came from. But because of the insurance, Texas wouldn't give him a bed. So I get to Nevada and they give him a bed. But here's my point. My son now, for the last year and a half, has not lived in my home. That is not in his best interest. So what could you do, or what could we do concerning health and mental illness in this state to help these children who do have IEPs, who do have behavioral health issues, who do have different things that they need beyond what the parents can actually give. Other states have people that come in, the state of California, they have multiple places for them to be. Nevada does not have that. And when I went to, I think it's Desert Regional Center, that's who all of mental health goes through in the state. They all go through Desert Regional Center. And when I went there, they had no answers for me. So how could you help change the stigma of mental illness, especially when we have one of the largest growing veterans departments in the country? We need to help these people. So how could you help them?
I am.
Stay who you are.
First of all, thank you for having me here on this platform and roundtable today. My name is Dr. Smith, and I am representing for Nevada Assembly District 41. You understand, I get these questions a lot now that I have hit the campaign trail, because people say, you're a doctor, we just want you to help us.
Right.
What capacity can you help us? And I know I can talk about, I'm going to talk about a little bit about health and wellness. I'm going to kind of turn back around to accountability.
Okay.
I will let you know that I've been in the state since 2008.
Wow.
I've lived in my district for 4 years, so it's absolutely correct that someone should have lived in
Absolutely.
your district
Absolutely.
a number of years to understand what's going on in that
Yes.
district. I now serve as a consultant for other healthcare providers,
Wow.
but I think it's funny to me that you even asked me about mental illness, because one of my platforms is healthcare.
Wow.
But under healthcare, I also like to do a subtopic of mental illness,
Wow.
because we're not addressing enough of the mental illness here in our state.
Man.
And especially, another platform for me is veterans.
Absolutely.
So when we look at PTSD in our veterans, and we look at just mental health in its totality, we have to really, why are we outsourcing?
Right.
Why are we not able to handle and address that here in our state?
Wow.
So I really would like, I would like to put together a bill so that we can, and I'd like to put together a task force also to see why that is that we are outsourcing
right.
and that we're not able to handle and address those mental health concerns in our own state of Nevada.
Wow.
So I think that's where we need to start, and then look at maybe putting forth a bill to address mental health in our state and how to best serve our communities on that particular topic. And I like to also state that, she talked about being that people are on the sidelines. Absolutely are. But I want to let you know I'm actually on the front line.
Come on.
Okay, as a consultant for primary care, urgent care, and pain management practice, we're actually going to be administering the COVID-19 test next week in our practice. So, and I like to say,
Yes.
and I like to say that before this was even a thing,
Right.
I was already speaking to labs about coming to our community
That's good.
to deal with coronavirus, and then here we are, and we're now in the
That's
midst
awesome.
of a pandemic. So I was ahead of this entire curve.
Right.
And so, now it's like I have to be in the midst of all of it, and I'm not afraid of it. I'm going to take on that task. I am a public servant.
Right.
I graduated from Harry Medical College in Nashville, Tennessee.
Come on.
Where our motto is to serve the underserved.
That's
So
good.
this is just what we do as Maharians. So as a proud Maharian of a historically black college
She
and
said it.
university,
HBCU.
that's correct,
Come
HBCUs, we know how to serve the underserved. We know how to
That's
be
right.
public servants. So serving as an assemblywoman, it's just a whole nother type
Right.
of public servant
Right.
in a whole different aspect, but it's still
Right.
a public servant. And so I am very well equipped to handle this position. and very well equipped to try to understand why our Nevada task force has not, why we have gaming industry in charge of our Nevada healthcare task force and not our doctors.
Come on.
So I just want to put that out there because I don't think a lot of people realize that MGM gaming industry is in charge of your Nevada task force.
No
Come on.
way.
Yes.
You know, it makes no sense.
Right.
And so we just have to make decisions that make sense. Why are you, and now 30 days later, you want to reach out to the medical and healthcare community to now put together a task force? That should have been the first thing you did.
That's right.
And so I just have to put that out there that I'm concerned about our community.
That's great.
I'm concerned about District 41 specifically, but the whole state of Nevada, because we have to do things the right way and organize things the right way, but we have to get the right type of help.
That's right.
I'm not going to sit here and say, well, let me get a hairdresser to deal with the COVID pandemic. Come on now. So let's just be honest that we have to make right decisions and put the right people behind us so that decisions are made, because this is affecting people's lives.
Absolutely.
And we have to do it right. We have to get it right the first time.
And I was involved in licensing all of those treatment homes that your son has visited. So I was involved in investigating problems and drafting the policies for the mental health court in Clark County. And I think as a mom, I can completely understand, you're right. And it's a problem because this town didn't grow up planning for mental health.
Right.
We got gambling addiction, drug addiction, alcohol, all kinds of sex addiction. And yet the town, like you said, is being controlled by gaming. And you know, they throw a little bit of money at the gambling problem, but the bottom line is, that's what makes Las Vegas rock, so they don't invest in prevention education. We need to invest in prevention. And judges need to acknowledge the problems families have, and instead of being punishing to them, help them make a plan to get their kids back straight home. I agree with that.
Isn't that a little bit of a conflict of interest that gaming is sitting on that particular board? I mean, you pretty much outlined, but can you go into that a little bit more?
Well, I think that the reason they're involved is because so many employees have a health trust fund, and that's connected more to the insurance part of what the casinos provide to the employees. But as far as whether they have somebody on staff who can actually do, like Dr. Smith here, practice medicine, I don't know. I don't know why they would be in charge. I could see them having a representative from the health trust industry, but not being in charge. Yvette Chevalier for Family Court Judge.
Well, listen, I want to make this announcement. If you are on social media, we're going to be talking to you live. I'm coming up right to you. Want to hear from you. So all you have to do is put in your question and let us know. We're going to try to get as many of these social media questions. They've already started coming in. Thank you, Mr. Muhammad, for your question. Everybody want to make sure that we hear from you. So what you want to do, if you're in the live feed there, just tap in your question there. We'll get to you. That way you can ask the constituents personally what you want. We'll try to get to as many of you as possible. We're going to continue with the healthcare, and then we're going to go to the big one. I want you guys to prep for this one, so I'm going to give you guys this one early, which is justice system reform. Justice system reform. Quickly, stay there. I know we're waiting, but it's hot right now. There's a hot subject. We're supposed to wait for social media questions. We have a question from Ms. Janice Black in reference to, read it out loud for me.
All right, the question is, we are great at identifying the problem. What are our steps towards success? Are there bill ideas or revision of current legislation that can be addressed mental health resources or budget funding?
Okay, so we would amend the 1973 Chinese Medicine Act to include Medicaid. That would be one of the first things we should do to make so that we can get the insurance to cover health care that covers the body, the soul, and the spirit. So if we can get Medicaid to cover Eastern medicine, that will be a giant step toward bridging the types of service that we get under our insurance plans, especially when it comes to mental health. We all have mental health. Everyone has mental health challenges.
Especially right now.
Right now. So if we just remove the stigma from having mental health, everyone is suffering from some type of mental health challenge. So if we could be in programs, if we could build mental health hospitals, mental care facilities, and remove the stigma from mental health, that could go a long way.
And that was going to be one of my questions. It's one thing to give the advice of what we can do, but we want solutions.
Absolutely.
In Nevada. We want the solutions. So who can get with team partnership? That's one of our questions. on today, who can you partner with? And we see right here in front of us, they just partner. So that was one of the questions. This is how we do it. We just make it happen. We don't take
new ideas.
New ideas.
Listen, I said it before. One of my favorite scriptures, Judges 5 and chapter 8. When there are enemies at the gate, new leadership arises.
Yes.
We have new enemies. We have technological enemies. We have bio warfare. What are we going to do? Who's willing to step up to the plate? Who's willing to really ascend to that pinnacle place of leadership and make it happen? But it was powerful because I had a lot of the parochial community, a lot of pastors show up and support, and it's important. I know we have a lot of our church-based folks on nonprofits on today. A lot of times when we hear the separation between church and state, we don't really understand. I have my lawyer here, the legal precedent behind that. If you really know the history between church and state, what they're really talking about was initially keeping the state out of the church. That's really what happened. Okay, so I'm not advocating that one or the other, but I'm saying that we have to get involved and we have to be active. That's why we went to the school board. That's why we spoke up. That's why our children spoke up. That we're there. You have to be an active part of the problem. As Ms. Roberts says in her new book, talks about X plus Y is the formula. You gotta be a part of the active solution, and that's why we're hosting this particular format today. We're gonna move on to our next question, and our next question has to do with criminal justice, something that has touched everybody, every household here. Everyone has someone who may have been incarcerated, yourself. So we want to make sure that we talk about that. Is it fair? Is the cash bail system fair? Is it fair that the laws and disparity between minorities and African Americans for the same crime, we're doing more time? What is going on? What needs to happen? We want somebody who will take that enemy at the gate, jump on this question. First hand up, who wants to talk about it?
The Supreme Court here in the state of Nevada issued a ruling that affects cash bail and the way it will be applied. It was my case.
Woo!
I started the case, I got the case, worked the case, and at the time that it was going up to the Supreme Court, there's a woman by the name of Nancy Lemke, a woman by the name of Christy Craig, who took the case and argued it, continued to work on it because they are extreme, seasoned advocates. Hey Lemke, hey Craig. I have to give them shout outs. They're extreme advocates. They took the case to the Nevada Supreme Court, argued it, and we got a ruling on Thursday. This is a game changer. If you go to my Facebook, I put TikTok game changer because that's literally what it is. It outlines how cash bail will be applied and what standards the judges must now employ and implement before somebody is held on cash bail. So there should no longer be, but this is why local elections matter, right? Because if there's not the appropriate judge on the bench, then the prosecutor might go in there and say, hey, he needs to stay in custody, and oh, we're all scared, so he stays in custody, and then we don't have this outline that we have to do. So I think that we are, and this is coming from the public defender's office.
One of the things that my platform is education. And I think that it's important for us to think about this and put it into practice. We have children between the ages of 0 and 5. They learn most of what they will take for the rest of their life from 0 to 5. So preschool full time is very important. We need to enact that so that we can have our kids that are learning, because there is a difference in our education. We have affluent families that they put their kids in school from 3 to 5 years old. They are there. And in our community, the urban community, we're waiting until they reach what? Kindergarten? And then, or first grade, the first grade. So what have they not learned? A lot. Socially, they're behind the curve. Academically, they're behind the curve. And then we're asking the question, well, when they reach the 3rd grade, if they're not reading, what do? We retain them. That is law. We retain them now. And that is not the way. We need to change the way we think. We need to change the way education. When you ask, how do we get education to change, that's one of those changes. We need to put our kids into school early.
I like that.
And it's a win-win, because you have parents that can go to work full time.
Right.
You have teachers that can come into the teaching community and teach. So it's a win-win all around.
I'm Nadia Krall and I'm running to be District Court Judge in Department 4. It's a county-wide race. I'm from Las Vegas. I went to high school here on the east side at El Dorado. I have represented people for 12 years in my own practice, where I've represented real people with real problems. Where I come from, on the east side, a student was shot and killed my first day of high school. So I've been in it. I know what real people deal with on a day-to-day basis, and that's why I'm running for judge. I'm running for judge to give the voters of Clark County a choice in who their judge is. I have judicial experience. I'm currently an arbitrator with this district court program. I'm a mediator as well with the Nevada Supreme Court's foreclosure program. And I'm also an appeals officer with Las Vegas Municipal Court. And I'm Nadia Krall, running for District Court Judge in Department 4.
Hello, I'm Dave Washington. I'm a candidate for County Commission District D. I'm a longtime resident of this community and also served as fire chief for the city of Las Vegas. So I know about the growth of our city, and I'm running because people have encouraged me to. I'm running as a nonpartisan candidate because I believe in the people. I'm not particularly concerned about any party, so I hope that I can get your vote in the coming years. Again, I'm a longtime resident. I've been an activist. I've served on the United Way Board of Directors, YMCA, Black Business Council, and many other community organizations. I also run a program out of Dillard University, which is a Carl Holmes Executive Development Institute. It's for firefighters to move up through the ranks. So I've done a number of things to include, started a camp called Camp Brotherhood, along with now Commissioner Weekly and also Melvin Beadle Ennis. We did that camp. This camp has been around now for over 23, 24 years. That's just one of many things that I've done. I have a associate's degree from Clark County Community College, and I'm married, got 4 children, 10 grandchildren, and I'm pleased and honored because I feel as though I was drafted to run for this particular seat.
The response from our candidates to be, and also here on social media, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And I want to hear from the candidates in regards to their remarks on this occasion tonight in order to express why they are to be chosen and that you need to vote. And I'll hand it to Katie.
Wow, thank you. I just believe it's such an honor and a privilege to serve. I've been working in the community for quite a few years, just understanding what the community's challenges are and strategies for a successful solution. All too often, we give a knee-jerk reaction to problems. We think if somebody's laying on the street homeless, we should build a home. Knee-jerk reaction. But to look at the underlying concerns with mental illness, with just basic inappropriate sexual activities, drug addiction, alcohol addiction, looking at the root cause of things takes a little bit of time and effort and not just knee-jerk reacting. So we spent quite a few years putting together a strategy for success. And some of those strategies entail putting together partnerships because no one can do it alone. So getting together with people to make change is very significant, and to be able to work with people regardless of political affiliation, regardless of sex, sexual orientation, and just putting your religious beliefs aside, being able to work on common goals of bringing about a better society has been our overarching concern, which is why it's so easy for Antonio Bowen and I to work together, and I'll tell you about the project that we are working on that we're so excited about. You want me to go ahead now?
Yes,
okay.
Right.
And one of our biggest communication challenges was with internet Wi-Fi technology. And there's been a big cry to get computers in every home. And I was working with the Las Vegas Technology Center to get computers in every home. They were taking refurbished, recycled computers and distributing out through the community. But we realized a computer without internet really doesn't do you any good. So we are right now working to have an internet tower installed on the west side so we can provide internet access to the historic west side, to the underprivileged children in Las Vegas and North Las Vegas, so they can begin to bridge that digital divide and have better access. Because when a child can get on a computer, he can just, travel the world. He can be self-taught. And so not having internet, not having a computer has been a major challenge and a major drawback. And also some healthcare initiatives we've been working on not just waiting for a person to get sick and go to the doctor before they can get care, but to bring in a different type of medicine, holistic medicine, so that people can go and have their body, their mind, and their spirit treated like the Eastern medicine doctors do. So just opening up a new way of thinking about healthcare is very important to us. And also the economics. You know, we as we're called African Americans, we've been called Black, Negro, color, just and grasping a whole new identity as being Americans. You know, we want to just embrace our American heritage and let people know how important it is to be American, and to start to celebrate our American heritage. We built this country, and we built it, and now it's time for us to own it and to be proud of it, and I think a lot of that's missing. So, and a lot of that has to do with driving the economics of the city. If we can get our economics together, we can put our own people to work. We don't have to worry about begging other people, other cultures for jobs. We can create jobs for our own people, for our own self-advancement, and that's kind of my platform.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you.
Well, Katie, what I have to say to that is, yes, thank you for making a solution to address the situation with computers that would have access to internet, for solutions that we know that has to be thought of even before you have actual access to get to the problem. So thank you, and I do support what you say, and I know that everyone out there that does will vote for you.
Oh, wow.
So I would just say congratulations to you, ma'am.
Thank you.
And Mr. Bowen, in regards to this wonderful meeting that we've had of the associates here, I know you had a major part in putting it together. And in regards to it, tell me, how did that come about, and what is your review on it this evening, given by Q Allen King and our moderators tonight? They were great on social media.
Well, I just want to first of all just say thank you to everybody who played a part on tonight. Tonight showed us, first of all, that no longer can we be reactive, but it's time for us to be proactive. And it's time for us to get above the game. It is time for us to do what we have to do. First of all of us come from different walks of life, different neighborhoods, different everything. And this have shown us for far too long we have worked together as an individual, but now it's time for us to work together as a family, as a village, because it truly does take a village to raise a child. It takes a village to take care of your loved ones. It takes a village to do everything. So I just want to thank you, everybody who came out, who supported. And another thing is that it's time for us to work together. It's time to come together for the common good. It's time for us to work together, because our number one job should be taking care of the people. We are people servants, and that's what we want to do. We want to serve you, and we are excited about our new positions, our new titles, our new areas where we're getting ready to go into. And thank you for hosting us on tonight.
Absolutely.
I just want to say thank you for hosting us and allowing us in your house so we can express our opinion. And that's what pretty much, it's just, when things go together like a perfect piece of a puzzle, unity, like I said earlier, unity requires you to know who you are. And on tonight, we have told you who we are, and we know what piece of the puzzle we play. So now we have no choice but to work together. So remember, unity requires for you to know who you are. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And I want to thank again Q Allen King, and also Urban Star Media, Blue Dragon Media, and Val TV Network. We are here for you, and we want you to vote. So thank you for joining us this evening, and be sure to cast your vote.